Welcome to this series of introductory lessons related to the time value of money. My name is Brent Pritchard. I teach college finance courses, and I'm here to help you grasp this all-important concept. This introductory series is designed to help you learn how to apply the mathematics of finance in less than a month, provided you commit to one or more lessons a day. It's that easy. Acquiring the hard skill that is the mathematics of finance does not need to be hard. I hope you enjoyed this fun new take on this age-old concept. And after you've done that, please consider telling your friends about this channel, TVM Rules, and the book, Would Your Boomerang Return, also known as the Boomerang Book, that made it possible. I like to start every class with a quote, so here we go with the quote of the lesson. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. If you've worked through every lesson up to this point in this introductory unit, then you know that I don't like the term compound interest. But who am I to correct such a genius? The focus of this lesson is on IRR, and there's a reason I like to write it with a lowercase I, because IRR is the true investment yield. Now, at first glance, you might not think that the first bullet is that special, but it's very special indeed. This is NPV, or net present value, summarized with words or letters in the case of the TVM financial calculator keys. Notice how the 5 primary TVM inputs or variables in the building block time value of money equations made the definition. This is just one of many examples of the new take on the time value of money you'll find in the book, Would Your Boomerang Return? Now, here's the real world situation that we're going to be analyzing for this lesson. Another real world example taken straight from the book, and there are 22 more where this came from. First, something to point out. If the question provides values for both PV and FV, one must be negative. Just think about it. To expect to have a certain amount of money in the future would require a deposit at a prior point in time. So this is how you think about the situation that requires a decision between receiving an amount of money at one point in time or another point in time. In the book, Would Your Boomerang Return, we like to think about each question as a kind of at-bat against a certain pitcher and trying to avoid a strikeout. For those who might not know how the count in baseball works, it starts at 0-0. The number on the left represents the number of balls, and the number on the right, the number of strikes. In the baseball count, 0 is commonly pronounced O. For example, 1-0 is 1-0 or a 1-0 count. That's one ball and no strikes. Each real-world question in Would Your Boomerang Return is followed by 3 blank pages that include the count options, so that you can gauge your success as you face each quote-unquote pitcher. You can keep track of how well you're keeping your eye on the ball by circling which count applies. For example, if the first time you faced the pitcher or a question you got a strike or the incorrect answer, you would circle 0-1. If the next time you make the connection or get the right answer, then you would circle 1-1. So let's get about drawing our TVM wallet. So this is what you would do in the book. And remember, the TVM wallet is our solution to analysis paralysis. It gives us the 3 simple steps needed to analyze and evaluate real-world time value of money situations. The first thing that I'm going to do is write in the 5 TVM inputs or variables, the keys on your financial calculator that you are going to be using more often than not. And in the first window of the TVM wallet, let's visualize. This is what this window is for. So we're here now. Here's the abridged symbol, and we're trying to decide between $5,000 today or $12,000 7 years from now. So I already told you how we're telling time, but we like to fill in the blank. So this is an annual time span in between period markers on the timeline. So only a true annual investment yield is going to work. That's what we're going to be solving for. So we'll put an A here in the subscript for uppercase N to remind us how we're telling time. And there are 7 periods in the third window of the TVM wallet. I'm going to write in the values here. And when we press I and solve for the true annual investment yield for this real world situation, we get 13.3224%. So that's the right answer. So we're going to circle 1 and 0. Now let's go to the double check. And we would double check on the same page in the book. And let's double check our work here with the building block future value equation. Again, we don't always have to double check our work, but it's good to know how to double check our work in the event we want to. So let's walk through this and let's input these numbers. And so $12,000 is the future value. We've got $5,000 here. Again, note that that's a positive no sign value, because anytime you're working with the building block time value money equations, we see positive no sign values associated with PV and FV and PMT. So it's a different situation when working with your financial calculator in the TVM wallet, but let's continue with this. So we're trying to solve for I, and we'll solve for I. We'll double check it. There are 7 years, and so we know that I, in this example, the true investment yield is going to be a true annual investment yield. And so let's use algebra to rearrange here. So we're going to move the $5,000 over, and we're left with 1 plus I, the true investment yield, raised to the power of 7. When we work this down, we get 2.40 equals 1 plus I raised to the power of 7. And so now we need to move this over, and it becomes 1 over 7 equals 1 plus I. And that works down to 1.13324 equals 1 plus I. And then when we subtract 1 from that side, both sides, we get I equals 0.13324, which is the same thing as 13.3224%. So we're going to circle that. That is the right value that we were looking for. So that's a wrap. If you like what you learned in this lesson, please consider telling your friends about this channel, TVM Rules, and the book that made it possible. One of the value propositions of the book, Would Your Boomerang Return, is the user manual that is self-contained and includes all the important or essential information related to the time value of money in one place. In that spirit, you've seen in this lesson that we've also created space for you to keep track of your notes and to track your progress. That's where the baseball count system comes in. You won't find this in a traditional finance textbook. If you haven't purchased your copy yet, all the important information on this all-important topic is gift-wrapped within the cover of Would Your Boomerang Return. Until next time, enjoy the gift that is the present.